Hello YouTube, Ken Hyo here with another Black Desert Online video for you. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the HP, the Infinite HP potion that was just released in the lands of non-Korea, I believe 1 or 2 months ago. It's been out in Korea here for over a year already, but I never really kind of bothered to go and get my own. But seeing you guys going out and get your own potions inspired me to get off my ass and go get my own potion myself. And since I just got my own potion today, a few minutes ago, I figured it would be a good time now to go ahead and release a video on it. And in this video, I'm going to be going over what you need to do to get it. And I'm going to be giving you maybe some tips that I think might be helpful, things that you could do or things you should not do when you're trying to get your potions. And also give you my thoughts, overall opinion on who I think this is for, and if you should even go bother doing it, because it's not really a quick deal. All right, so let's get started on how you get it. And the way you get this is fairly simple. You're seeing footage now of the quest that you do at the very end of this whole ordeal, and this is after you finish grinding for the first 3 initial parts. And the way you actually craft your infinite potion is by putting together 5 pieces of loot that you need to get, and 3 of them will come from grinding, and 2 of them will come from the ending quest that you're seeing right now on your screen. But before you can actually pick up the quest, you need to get the 3 initial items from grinding in 3 areas. And the 3 areas you need to grind are Shuriken Necropolis. You need to get a piece from there. You need to get a piece from Ronaro's Forest, and you need to get the last piece from Blood Wolves. The order doesn't really matter. Of course, if you're a new player working on it, you should probably start from Blood Wolves, since it has the lowest AP requirement, and then move up to just move up on the AP requirement for that. I would say that even though the AP requirements for Ronaro's Forest is a little higher, it might be less annoying than Shuriken, because mobs in Shuriken love to stun and knock you down and CC you in any way they can. So it might, if you want to leave that for the last, it might be better for you if you wait to the Shuriken Necropolis last. Although if you do have a class that has a pretty solid super armor rotation, then of course you can avoid the CC problems. When I was grinding there with my Guardian before, it was not too much of an issue, but with my Valkyrie, it was a little more complicated and annoying. So, and then once you get those 3 drops, you can go to the NPC that you saw on the screen here in Kama Sylvia, and I'll put a screenshot of his location again, and he will start giving you knowledge. And then the node manager at the Ogre Lake, the Ogre River in Kama Sylvia, you need to give it to it, I guess, as a spirit, 300 of the peridot leaves, and then he will give you the 4th piece of the potion. And then after that, you grab 30 Garmoth scales, and you go to the node manager near Shuriken Necropolis, which you also saw on the screen. And I'll put on a screenshot here to show you where it is. And then you exchange 30 Garmoth scales for the final piece of the potion. And then you're going to arrange them in your inventory. You're going to have to unselect the auto arrange in your inventory and put them in a cross format, just like you're seeing on the screen right now. And then you click combine, and that's all you got to do. And then you receive your potion, and you have an infinite HP potion that will heal you every 2 seconds if you're taking any damage on a short 2-second cooldown. And it's the same effect really as the highest HP pot that we have in game already, but it's just the difference is that number 1, it's a lot heavier than one of those, and number 2, that it is infinite. It never actually ends up using up, always have an inventory. It's just every 2 seconds you're going to be using the item over and over again if you are taking damage. And as far as getting the Garmoth scales, it should be quite easy. You're going to be getting way more than 30 Garmoth scales while you grind in Blood Wolves for the piece that you need to get from there. And so you shouldn't worry too much about that. As far as the peridot leaves go, you get them from doing daily quests in Kama Sylvia, and it's quite easy to actually get those peridot leaves. Now you do have, while you're grinding Ronaros, you do have 6 daily quests that you can take, and some of them will give you peridot leaves, and you can take those quests actually from an NPC that is right around here in this river. He will give you 3 quests to kill the Ronaros creatures, and then if you go to this node over here, the Arquero Camp, I believe, I know what it's called, it says Arquero South Camp, you can go there, and the lady there will give you 3 quests, and then you come here, and the guy here gives you 3 quests as well. I don't remember if they all give you peridot leaves, but I know for sure that some of them do. So just do them every day when you go here, once a day, and by the time you get your potion, it should be closed. Now, how rare really are these drops? Well, I heard horror stories of people taking 100 hours to gather them, and I didn't really count mine because I really don't want to put myself through that kind of stress. I just went there and grinded in those locations as often as I could, and I just counted that as me making money. And that's one good way to avoid a burnout in this case. First of all, don't go grind 5 hours a day there, because you are going to burn out. And second of all, just see this as you're making money at the same time as you are trying to get the piece. So it's more like a secondary goal. And luckily, these 3 locations are not terrible for money. If you have decent gear, it's not going to beat Ackman or Star's End any day, but you can make some decent money. Of course, Blood Wolves probably got a hit on the money per hour since the Infinite Potion patch came out for you guys, because now that everybody's grinding there, all the items they used to sell in the market for quite a bit of money are probably a lot cheaper. They probably all crashed. So you're not going to be making as much money in Blood Wolves as you used to, but it's still pretty decent. Yeah, going back to how rare these items are, you can be anywhere from 10 minutes to 100 hours. I would say on average, I spent probably a good 20 hours in each spot. Probably more. Like I said, I didn't really count, but just run hours alone, I spent probably about 30 hours. Shere Khan was really quickly, and Blood Wolves probably about 10 to 15 hours as well. So you can say I got lucky. I definitely heard of people getting a lot worse and having to grind for a lot longer time. But at the end of the day, this is BDO. It's all about RNG. You just got to keep banging your head against the wall until they drop for you. So if you're not the kind of person who likes grinding, and if you're not the kind of person who likes RNG, don't do this, because you're going to drive yourself crazy. All right, so now what are some kind of things that you can do to help in this process? The first thing I recommend is that you sign up for a pretty good streaming website where you can go and watch your favorite movies or series, or you can go to Twitch and watch me stream there while you grind, because you're going to be grinding a lot to get these potions. So that having something to distract you in the process will be very beneficial, so you don't lose your mind. I did a lot of the grinding on stream with our community, and they definitely helped me stay sane during the process. Now, on a more serious note, of course, you can invest on your nodes, and that's something that you should be using energy on your alts to invest in your nodes, so they can improve your chance to get any loot, really, but more specifically this potion loot. And I know it's not a huge bonus, but when you're thinking about grinding for as many hours as you are going to be grinding in those areas, you're going to want any help you can get. And any scrolls that increase drop chance will also help you out and increase your chances. And also any Alchemical Silver Blessing will help you with that, because it increases your loot drop. Don't worry about getting improved loot scrolls, because that only improves the loot quantity. That's just for trash loot. And the Agnes Fever will also not help you there, because these potion drops are clearly not trash loot. But any scrolls that will increase your drop chance, any items that increase your drop chance, will help you there. And also the node level, of course, you should try to get to level 10 if you can. Just dump all your energy there and start prepping by dumping energy into Blood Wolves, and then once you fill it up to 10, go to your next location, start investing your energy there. So by the time that you get to those locations, they are all at level 10. And you can get a better chance to get the loot. Now, one thing I would not recommend you to do is to use any kind of rare loot scrolls that you might get, like the J scrolls, or there was some other scrolls, some gold scrolls, I forgot what they're called, but there are a couple of scrolls that actually increase your chances that you can stack with another regular loot scroll. The reason why I don't recommend you use those is because the drop chance is so small for these potions that you're going to get it or you're not, and I think you're better off saving those special loot scrolls for getting drops for money. Like if you go to grind an Ackman, if you want to get more earrings, or if you want to go to Star's End and want to get more of those earrings as well over there, use those special loot scrolls in there. I think it'll be more beneficial. You can get a lot more better drops, because those 3 areas didn't really drop any big money items. You can get the Ruins Ring from Blood Wolves, and I believe from Shere Khan Necropolis as well. And there's the Orc Belt, the Orky something belt from Shere Khan too, but they're not really worth you spending those J scrolls or whatever other special loot scrolls that you get on those areas. Again, save them for areas that you go to grind. They have big money items like your Tungrads and things like that. Now, it's also important to note that not all the mobs in each of those 3 areas can actually drop the items that you need to make the potion. It's only a couple of them in each of the areas, or sometimes one of them in each of the areas. So you want to find rotations that have a good amount of those mobs. As far as Blood Wolves, what people usually use as the main rotation is probably what I would recommend. As far as Ronaros, I'm showing the footage right now where I grind in mine. I don't know if it's a very great rotation for other purposes, but in my case, it's pretty good because it is always empty here. There's no other competition. I barely found anybody here, even in the Archer server. And as far as Sharakan, again, the main rotation will also work. And I'll post screenshots in the video here somewhere telling you which mobs drop what, so that you can focus on those mobs specifically while you're grinding. If you don't want to grind for money, if you're not really worried about getting money, if you just want to kill as many of the mobs that drop the item as fast as possible, you can just skip killing anything else and just go for your targets, and hopefully that will help you get the mobs or get the drops faster. But of course, you're not going to be making money per hour, which I really encourage you to just go and see this grind as a money per hour grind, really as a daily income. And if you get the potion part, it's a benefit for you. All right, so now that we talked about how you can get it and where you should go to get it and all those things, let's talk about my thoughts on this. And I think you should go and spend your hours grinding. Of course, if you hate grinding, you should not be doing this. In reality, this potion is not a necessary item. It's just like any other of the treasure items that they have in BDO, like the map and the compass. They are not going to fundamentally save your life or make your game a lot better, but they're just a little improvement that will save you some time. And in this case, the potion, of course, save you some money because you won't have to keep buying the potions, and you're not also going to save you some weight on the inventory. Even though the individual potion is pretty heavy, it's still lighter than carrying 1,000 potions with you if you're going to be doing node wars or something like that. I've been doing node wars in my guild lately, and I noticed that I go through a ton of potions when I do node wars. So if you do PvP, you should definitely go for the potion. Unless you hate grinding and you just want a PvP, then just by all means buy the potions. Potions in this game are not really expensive, so if you want to just keep buying the potions, it's not going to break the bank. And there's even an argument for just, instead of spending all these hours grinding these lower end areas, if you have the AP, to go grind in a place like Histria or Secria, Abyssal Secria, or Star's End. Just keep grinding those areas, and the extra money that you'll be making in comparison to wasting those hours grinding in the lower areas, you can use the way more money that you're going to be getting to buy potions to just use it in your PvP. But if you dabble in both PvP and PvE, and you don't mind going to this little journey here and spending some time on acquiring an item, a kind of a special item, then this might be good for you. Again, this is not going to be necessary for any content in the game, really, because there are potions in the game already that do this kind of thing. It's just really a convenience. If you are going to be grinding in areas like Histria and Secria, Lower Secria, where mobs do hurt a lot when they hit you, then I definitely recommend that you go grind for this if you don't mind, because it's going to make your life a lot easier. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video today. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I told you where to go, I told you what to do, and the few tips that I can give you to improve your grinding career while you're looking for these potions, and I gave you some tips on things that might help you get this stuff done faster. Not much you can do, really. It's all about luck, like most things in BDO. Just good luck on your grind. Hope you don't spend 100 hours or more grinding for those 3 separate pieces. Once you get the last piece from grinding, then it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to get the rest of the pieces for your potion. Just make sure that you keep an eye on your peridot leaves. You might have to do some extra Kama Sylvia dailies to get them. But like I said, it's not hard to get them. You're going to be grinding quite a few days in Ronaros Forest. So just making sure that you're doing those dailies. Get as many peridot leaves as you can over there. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video for today. If you liked the video and thought it was informative, I would appreciate it if you could hit that like button. If you want to see more video content from me, don't forget to subscribe. And come back on Wednesday for the patch notes video. And also come join our Twitch streams and our Discord community. Links for all those things down below. And that's going to be it from me for now. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.